always start my practice in the morning burning some sage. I think that bringing all of your senses into your practice, it can be most helpful. It can really draw you into yourself. So we're going to start by taking a few deep breaths. Deep inhale and let it all out. Deep inhale through your nose. Deep exhale through your nose. 2 more times. Now that we're settled into the present moment, I always like to do a little bit of light stretching. Usually I'm doing this practice right when I wake up, and my body is not necessarily warmed up for any asana practice. You give your neck a good roll, both ways. Roll out your shoulders a little bit. Maybe give your arms a little swing outward, forward and backwards. My problem in the morning is usually my back and my legs. So I like to put both legs out in front of me and give a few stretches forward and back up. And exhale as I lean forward. And inhale as I reach up and sit up. Exhale forward. Inhale back up. Exhale forward. And see how you can start going a little further each time. Inhale back up. Like usual, fold one foot in, and then do the same but with one leg. Inhale back up. Exhale back down. Inhale up. And exhale back down. Inhale up. Switch legs, pull that right leg in. Inhale and exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale down. And give your foot a little tug here. Feel that pull into the back of your leg. Inhale up. And exhale one more time down. So not only are we stretching our body out, but we're getting connected to our breath as we take movements. So just making sure that we're centered, we're a little bit stretched out, maybe move your back around. And then we're going to come meet at the top of our mat. Today I have a block for our asana practice for a little later on. So we're going to start out with just some sun salutations. We're going to go with A first and then B. So come up to the top of our mat, really rooting through our feet, making sure that our feet are a little bit apart, hips width apart, that our hips are right over our knees, which are right over our ankles, rolling our shoulders back. On an inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, down through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Since this is our first downward facing dog of the day, we're going to do a little pedaling as we take our 3 breaths. Making sure that we're not hyperextending our elbows in downward facing dog. And on our next inhale, we're going to step or hop up to the front of our mat, staying in a half forward fold. And then exhale as we go into a full forward fold. And then an inhale, arms all the way up above our head. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to go right into Sun Sal B. So we're going to go right inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank to chaturanga. Up dog on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-legged dog, lift that right leg up. Exhale, foot between your hands and into a warrior 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant your hands, step your foot back, down through chaturanga, up dog on an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up for 3-legged dog. Exhale, foot between your hands again, up into warrior 1. And an inhale, lift your arms. Exhale, plant your hands, step your foot back. Through chaturanga, up dog. Then exhale, downward facing dog. Now that's really going to get our blood pumping, warm our body up. I'm sometimes short of breath when I'm in the middle of that. So just coming back to our breath here. Taking some deep breaths. It's morning time and it's early. I'm trying to wake our body up. It's a good start. All right, we're going to step or hop up to the top on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And an inhale, we're going to come back up into chair. And an exhale, hands down to your side. All right, now we're warmed up a bit for our asana practice. So we're going to start into our poses here. Again, we're going to be rooting into Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet are hips width apart. Shoulders are back, chin is up. Facing the day. Deep breath for some clarity and a moment of pause. All right, on an inhale, we're going to lift our arms. Exhale, hands through heart center. Into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant our hands, step back, down into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, so pedal out our feet a little bit. Third or fourth downward facing dog of the day. Probably starting to feel a little stretched out now. getting more connected with our body. On your next inhale, you're going to lift your left or your right leg up in three-legged dog again. And this time you're going to pump your knee up between your hands, up to your elbows, but you're not going to set your foot down. And then on an inhale, you're going to bring your foot back up. We're going to do that 3 times. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, foot up. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale, foot up. And now on your next exhale, you're going to pull that foot behind you to wild thing. And on inhale, bring that leg back up. On an exhale, you're going to pull that foot forward into warrior 1. Make sure that we have heel to arch alignment. Making sure that our knee is not outward, that our knee is straight. And make sure that we have our belly button facing forward. Inhale, arms up. We're going to hold here for a few breaths. We're really rooting into our day right here. Finding that balance. Finding some clarity. Maybe thinking about the day ahead. Or maybe dropping all of our ideas of what the day ahead is going to lead us to. Right now, we're just on our mat. I always like to give a little bit of a pull back just to stretch my back a little bit. And inhale, exhale, we're going to move into warrior 2. Opening up our chest, looking over our right hand. Really finding that balance between our weightlessness is what I'm trying to look for here. Making sure that we're not leaning too far forward into our knee, but not leaning too far back. Finding that balance, that weightlessness right there. Pulling the mat apart with our feet. Not thinking about our legs so much, but really rooting through our feet. Inhale, we're going to pull our right hand up. Pull back. Get a good stretch there. And exhale, you're going to lean forward. Extended side angle. Keeping that arm above head. We're not really putting a bunch of weight here on our arm. It's just kind of keeping us balanced, but feeling that good stretch right through here. And now we're going to drop that hand. We're actually going to hop up. This is where we're going to use our block. Put our block up right in the right corner. We're going to go into half moon. So leaving that foot planted, I like to leave it in its spot that it's been the whole time because now I've really got that strength in that leg. So we're going to pull our left leg up. And to the best of our ability, we're going to pull our left arm up and gaze up. Not putting too much weight on this right hand. It's really just for a little bit of extra balance. Opening up our hips. So almost like a warrior 2 position where our belly button is facing outward. Woo. And if you drop out, come right back into it. It's okay. It's all about finding the balance for our day, right? Between self and the outside world, finding that balance. Sometimes we're more in it, sometimes we're not. But at the end of the day, we always come back. All right, so I like to drop that foot in that hand. And we're going to set back, again, through our chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's just take a moment here. That right side of the body is pretty worked out now. For me, it feels really uncomfortable right in this position where I've completed some nice stretching with the right side of my body and I haven't gotten it done with the left, so we're going to find that balance now by lifting on an inhale our left leg. Exhale, bringing that forward right to our elbows. And coming right back up again on an inhale. Exhale, hand between your elbows. Inhale, back up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back up. And exhale into wild thing. Inhale, back up. And then exhale, foot forward into warrior one. Arms raised. Keeping our belly button forward, making sure that we have heel to arch alignment in our 2 feet. And taking a moment here to get strength in that front left leg. Taking a moment to pause again. Really finding ourselves in there. The deepest self in there. Nurturing that self. Finding balance. Giving a little stretch back. And then we're gonna, on an inhale and then exhale, move into warrior two. Remember, now we're gonna be with our belly button facing about a 90-degree angle outside of our hips spread apart. We're gonna lift our arms. We're just gonna look over our left hand. Finding that balance, again, that weightlessness, pulling the mat apart with our 2 feet, not thinking so much about our legs, but thinking about the strength and the grounding that the earth provides us with our feet. Not saying touch to the outcome here. We're going to hold. On our inhale, we're going to pull that left arm up. Right hand on our lower back. Just get a good stretch in. And on an exhale, leaning forward into extended side angle. Again, looking up past our right arm. Not really putting too much weight here on our leg, but just as a form of balance. And then exhale, we're going to hop up, leaving our foot planted where it is because we have good strength there. Scooting our block to the left and lifting our right leg up. Lifting our right arm up. Finding a drishti point above. Really getting strong in that left leg. Remember, our left arm is just really for balance on the block. We're not using it as a spot to put all of our weight down. Keeping our elbow bent a little bit so that we don't lean into that. Point that toe up. Good. Finding balance right here. This is where we see the balance in our day and the external forces and within ourselves and how we can mold those together and how we see that we are at peace. Again, if you fall out, just make sure you just get back up as long as you can. We're going to drop that right leg. Dropping our hands and stepping back through chaturanga one more time. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Just breathing into that one more time. Sometimes I will also go into a into child's pose after this and just give myself a moment. Well, you can stay up in a downward facing dog if you like being inverted. Taking a moment to come back to our breath. We're going to step or hop up to the top of our mat. We're back in that halfway lift again, and then exhale for a forward fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right to our heart center. Feel balanced on both sides of my body now at this point. I feel really good. So we're going to come and take a seat. You might feel inclined to take a drink, but I wouldn't at this point. The reason for that is we're going to go into a kriya. It's called a sat kriya. This is where we're going to really get our energy moving for the day. We're going to clear out all those nadis that are they're a little bit plugged up from maybe the day before or anything like that. And we're going to get some clarity through the rest of our day. We've got the balance part down. We've got both sides of our body really warmed up and moving. And now we're going to work inward. So for the Sat Kriya, what we're going to do is, it's best if you can sit like so. I can't sit like that. I have a bad ankle, so I'm going to sit with my legs crossed, and that's an option. Whatever your practice holds is good. It's perfect for you. Getting comfortable here. All right. Really got to get my breath back together after that practice. That was a good asana practice, getting our body warmed up. All right. So now for Sat Kriya, we're going to be doing Bhastrika breathing, which is forceful and a forceful exhale. Forceful inhale, forceful exhale. And that's going to be back and forth. Okay, this is going to be a 3-minute Kriya. So during this, we're going to do our best in our mind to go Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, inhale, Nam, exhale. I am truth. Truth is my essence. Now we're also going to be putting some arm movement with that. We're going to have our hands. We're going to cross all of our fingers, and we're just going to pick up our index fingers together. If you are a female, you are going to take that left thumb over your right thumb. If you are a male, you're going to take your right thumb over your left thumb. We're going to lift our arms up above our head, and to the best of our ability, we're going to keep our arms at or behind our ears. Sometimes I start to fall forward and I catch myself, got to pick them back up. So while we keep our arms up, we're going to be Sat, Nam, breaths, okay? So we're going to go for 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes is up, we're going to lay down and we're going to do 2 times as much time, so 6 minutes. We're going to do some meditation. We're just going to lay and be with ourselves and feel how that energy being moved through our body, that prana being moved through our body makes us feel. All right, so we're going to start for 3 minutes at this point. Arms up. Making sure we're taking those big, quick breaths, okay? 3 minutes, starting now. Arms up and Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Make sure you're keeping those arms pulled up past your ears as best as you can. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. If you start to feel a little bit lightheaded, take a second. Right back into the breath. Minute in. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. I am truth. Truth is my essence. Moving all that prana through our body, through our fingertips, through these breaths. Pulling those arms back up, they started to drift down behind, in front of our ears. Down to less than a minute, 50 seconds. You've got this. Keep your arms up. Don't let that ego tell you that you're going to pull down. Stopping our timer. Feeling a little lightheaded, we're going to lay down on our back. Becoming as quiet as possible. Taking some deep breaths here. Really coming into our body. Our shoulders might be tired. Just relax as much as possible. This is a true savasana where we're feeling our body really just melting into the ground. I feel myself being with my state of being, my true state of being, innocent, pure. If your mind is traveling off, just remember to come right back to your breath. Starting our day off with a chance to be with our truest, most divine self. On your next inhale, just try and just inhale more than we have all morning so far. Really pushing our lungs to bring most capacity, bringing all the oxygen in that we can. Holding at the top. And exhale. Again, just being with ourselves right now in this moment. We have nowhere else to be. Our day hasn't even begun yet. We've taken this time for ourselves on our mat. We've now balanced our body out. We've moved our prana through our body and we've become more clear. Maybe taking a second to set an intention for the day. Whether it be to come back to ourselves just momentarily through the day, maybe to say a prayer here and there through the day. Or even to find the divinity throughout our day following us here on Mother Earth. allow Mother Earth to speak back to us, even if it's in the form of other people, nature, signs, synchronicities. Really finding that. Another couple deep breaths, and we'll close out our session. Sitting up, maybe rolling up whenever you're ready. Coming back to our mat. Legs crossed. Just kind of paying attention to where we are differently than where we started. Ready to start the day. I still feel that energy pulsing through my body. It's beautiful. Thank you for coming and meeting with me on my mat this morning, and I hope that you find clarity and balance through the rest of your day. Finding your truth. Namaste.